Hello everyone, this is my second video I've done. First time, I'm sorry I didn't actually show my face or introduce myself. My name is Mitch. I'm a U.S. Army and U.S. Marine veteran, 8 years in each. Did lots of shooting in the Marines, a lot of pistols, rifles, machine guns. I was a crew chief, gunner, mechanic on a CH-53 Echo helicopter. So shot the 50 cals out of the windows many times, lots of training on that, loved it. Got out of the Marines. I went in the Marines in '93, got out of the Marines in 2001, early 2001, and later that year 9/11 happened, and I wanted nothing more than to go back into the military. Tried the Marines a couple times, and everybody was stop lost at the time, so couldn't get back in. I even wanted to go back in as infantry, so 300 grunt, and that wasn't available either. So I gave it some time, and eventually in 2005 I decided to put in my warrant officer packet into the Army to go into flight school and hopefully fly Blackhawks. So that's what I did. Submitted my packet in early April time frame of 2005. Was accepted into the program in July of that year and got orders to go in the fall to warrant officer school in Fort Rucker, Alabama. So I reported down there in the fall to Fort Rucker and went to flight school and got what I wanted. I wanted to fly Blackhawks, and that's what I got. So my first unit out of there, I went to 10th Mountain Division in upstate New York, or I should say the North Country of New York. And I heard a lot about Fort Drum before I got there, and the 10th Mountain Division said that they were the most deployed division. When I got there, they weren't even there. They were currently still in Afghanistan and would be back in a couple weeks. So kind of just sat around and really didn't do much until the unit got back, and then they got a couple weeks break, and then we were working up again to deploy to Iraq in fall of 2008. So we did that for a year. I was with an air assault company. Ended up doing maybe a handful of air assaults in Iraq. Nothing too exciting. It was more so glorified taxi service, ass and trash they call it. Just moving people around the battlefield, taking people on leave, moving this colonel, captain to this place or that place. Got a lot of flight hours, but it's kind of boring. Got to meet a lot of USO people that were VIPs, such as like Kid Rock, which he was a blast. But so I got back to 10th Mountain after 12 months in Iraq, and as soon as I got back, within a couple weeks, heard the Medevac was looking for people, and I was one of the ones that was hand selected to come over, and I couldn't ask for anything else. That's originally what I wanted to do. That's why I wanted the Black Hawk. I wanted to fly Medevac. And so moved over to Charlie Company 310 and started training up to go to Afghanistan. So in the fall of 2010, went to Afghanistan for a little over 12 and a half months, and there it was a different world compared to Iraq. Experienced a lot of things, did hundreds of missions, and we were really good at it, our particular team. We were based out of Fob Shank and Fob Ghazni, and that's where we primarily worked out of. So while we were there, we worked hand in hand with the Polish Special Forces out of Fob Ghazni. Did a lot of training with those guys, and basically while we were down in Ghazni, we were pretty much their medevac support for not just the Special Forces, but just the Polish units altogether, which was very awesome. Got to meet a lot of great people and do lots of really cool things, and we got to shoot a lot of their guns. A lot of cool stuff, H&Ks, suppressed weapons, a lot of different pistols, PKMs, machine guns. some captured AK-47s that they brought back from missions, which is really cool. We had a Team Kalashnikov, which was a 1956 model, stamped. Everything, it was loose as could be, but you could knock out 30 rounds in a couple seconds. It was pretty awesome, pretty sweet machine. But anyway, got back fall of 2011, and about another year or so, and decided to end my time in the Army after 8 years. It was just time to start a family and move on. You know, everybody says 4 more years you could have retired, but no, really didn't want to do it. Lots of close calls while we were in Afghanistan. And I was like 37, 38 years old at the time, wanted to start a family, and military is no place for a family. So decided to get out, and my wife was from the Albany area, Albany, New York. So for some reason I chose to move down here and get a job here rather than her suggesting that we pack our stuff and move somewhere else because she was born and raised here. I should have went with that option because New York is not a very friendly place when it comes to gun ownership and pretty much anything political that isn't left-leaning. But otherwise, a couple years ago, got my FFL, which has been great, helping friends and family and friends of friends, just based out of my home, getting the things that my friends need at a decent price. And of course now, it used to be ammunition as well, but New York State is requiring background checks and fees to do these background checks. And as a small business owner, it's very time consuming. If somebody buys 1,000 rounds, I have to put 20 boxes of UPC information into the computer, which is not too fun. But anyway, so that's a little background on myself, and hopefully I'll be shooting more videos on how-tos about guns and parts replacement, some small gunsmithing jobs, and little things like that, and hoping eventually that I can morph it into something else.